I apologize. I'm um, later than normal today. I just had some things I had to take care of this morning and working some things out. I've mentioned earlier, I'm reading through a book called The Seven Decisions, and I've gotten to the last decision. I've read this. I know what these seven decisions are. Um, if you want to read about them, I would say start with The Traveler's Gift, and then there's a second book, and then this one, The Seven Decisions. And the last decision is persistence. And I want to read you a couple of things out of this book. This isn't my normal way of doing my lives, but I really wanted to get this across today. I just thought this was so awesome. When talking about persistence, Andy Andrews writes, how long must a child try to walk before he actually does? Do I not have more strength than a child, more understanding, more desire? How long must I work to succeed before I actually do so? A child would never ask the question, for the answer does not matter. By persisting without exception, my outcome, my success is assured. I mean, are you ready to persist in what you're doing until you succeed? I am. I keep coming out here and making these bold declarations. And every time I do, something happens. But you know what? I don't care. I'm ready to persist until I succeed. I have big things I want to do, and I'm going to persist until I succeed. You know, I talked Monday about having a productive week and one of having my most productive week ever, and everything has come along to stop my productivity, but I'm still plugging away and I'm learning. I've learned so much this week about how to even get past some of that. You know, one of our biggest reasons why we don't persist is fear. I want to read you something else that Andy said about fear, that when I read it I was like, oh yeah, that's interesting. So think about this. What you fear doesn't even exist. It is the misuse of the creative imagination God has placed in you. And in the lives of these creative, intelligent people, somehow fear jumps into the mix and shuts down any possibility of moving toward their goals and dreams. It stops everything. The word worry is derived from an I'm having trouble today. The word worry is derived from an Anglo Saxon term meaning to strangle or to choke off. So when you worry, you're actually strangling or choking off your life, what you're trying to do. And we need to kick worry to the curb. That's how you're going to be persistent. Kick fear to the curb. It's not serving you. It's not serving me. It doesn't serve any of us. We need to learn how to persist. We need to learn how, when people say to us, well, you're not going to go through with that. You never follow through with anything. Or someone says, oh, well, you've started businesses before and they've failed. You've done this before and it's failed. Don't listen to the chatter of small people. And I'm sorry if someone in your life that you love, you think I'm calling them small. Well, maybe I am. You know, if they're not supporting you, if they're not saying, you know what, I'm going to be 100% behind you in this, I'm going to help you persist. And when you don't feel like persisting, I'm going to encourage you to go on. There are times in my life when I honestly, and y'all see me out here every day, and I'm positive. My mood is upbeat. I'm positive about most everything. But there are times, and my daughter and my husband can both tell you, there are times when I get down and I'm like, you know, I just don't think this is going to work. I just don't think I'm good at what I'm doing. I don't think it's going to work at all. And they're the ones that pick me back up and say, you know, you can do this. I know that you can do this. Keep going, persist, keep at it. They're the ones that encourage me. Those closest to you should do that for you. If they don't, you need to find someone else to talk to. You need to find someone else to confide in. Persistence is something, it's difficult. It's going to be difficult to get to the top of that mountain you're trying to climb. You need someone who's either going to be behind you, pushing you up, or someone in front of you, pulling you up. Let me tell you a little story. Michael and I walked the Narrows of Zion back, oh goodness, it was 2016. So it'll be 6 years. And I was 58 years old when we did that, and it almost killed me. Was it 58? Hmm. Yeah, 58. And I'm serious. When I said it almost killed me, maybe I'm exaggerating, but it really did did me in. It was difficult. We walked against the current going, and you had to walk on rocks, so you had to put your foot down and kind of do this number, make sure you had a good footing so you didn't fall. And younger people were doing it a lot faster. It took us 7 hours to go 7 miles. It was a very difficult 7 miles. In the water, we were actually 5 miles down. I mean, 3.5, 2.5. I can't add 2.5 miles down, 2.5 back, and it was a mile to get down to the into the canyon where the river was, and a mile back up. So we had to walk back up the mountain. Very, very difficult trek. Again, we were walking against the current going. We were coming with the current, but trying to keep it from sweeping our feet out from under us. We were in the water most of the time. But when we got down to where I wanted to get, which was called Wall Street, they call it that because there's nothing there but sheer canyon going up. There's no dry place to walk. You either walk or swim from there. And part of the way you do have to swim because it's over your head. We didn't go into that. My body couldn't have handled it. But there was a canyon that went off where this starts. And I think it was called Orderville Canyon. I may not be pronouncing that correct. But we got to a place, and there was this little waterfall, maybe about 4 foot, little cliff little thing. The water was coming rushing over from this little side canyon. And I wanted to go up in there so badly, so badly. And this all relates to what I'm talking about, persistence. I mean, I had to persist to even get that far, but I wanted so badly to get up there. And Michael was behind me, and there were these footholds I could put my feet in. But I could get my foot up to the foothold, but I couldn't. There was nothing to pull myself up on. And about that time, a gentleman came along, and he reached his hand down. He was up on the top. He reached his hand down. And sorry for the illustration, but Michael put his hands under my bottom, my butt, and the guy pulled, and I pulled myself up with his arm, and Michael pushed and got me up there. That's what we need. We need those people in our lives. You've got to have those people if you're going to persist. I wanted up into that canyon. I wanted to walk down it a little bit further so badly. And I had two people to help me, a stranger and my husband. And the stranger, like I said, put that hand down and helped pull me up while Michael helped push me up. That's what you need in your life. If you're going to persist in your dreams, if you're going to persist in your goals, you've got to have those people to help you persist. They may be strangers, like that man that was up at the top. They may be people that love you, like my husband behind me. And y'all, he is behind me every day saying, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. What can I do to help? He helps around the house. He takes me where I need to go. He supports me in many, many, many ways. So when you are ready to persist until you succeed, make sure you have those people you need in your life, and make sure you kick fear and worry to the curb, because they're not serving you at all. It doesn't matter what others think. What matters is that you're doing and walking in your purpose every single day without fail, every day. I want you to persist until you succeed. If you're not in my Facebook group, the link to join it is in the description of this video. If you're in the group and watching this, you already know what the group's about, but reach out if you need some help persisting until you succeed. I would love to help you in that. I'm going to get off of here. I want to tell you I love you. More importantly, God loves you. You have a blessed day and the rest of your week.